You are spending money every month on melatonin supplements, sleep aid medications, magnesium glycinate capsules, anti-inflammatory drugs for morning joint stiffness, and muscle recovery formulas that cost $30, $50, even $90. While one 8-ounce glass of Tart cherry juice taken 30 minutes before bed costs less than $1 and has now been validated by modern clinical research to increase total sleep time by an average of 84 minutes per night, raise melatonin levels in the blood more effectively than standard melatonin supplements, reduce the morning joint pain and muscle soreness that disrupted sleep makes worse, lower the inflammatory markers that chronic sleep deprivation drives throughout the entire body, and deliver the specific combination of melatonin precursors, polyphenols, and tryptophan that the aging brain requires to restore the deep, slow-wave sleep stages that disappear after 60 and that no pharmaceutical sleep medication successfully recreates. Seniors are taking melatonin tablets that provide a synthetic hormone spike lasting 2 to 3 hours, while Tart cherry juice provides naturally occurring melatonin alongside the tryptophan to serotonin conversion support and the anti-inflammatory anthocyanins that together sustain melatonin elevation for 6 to 7 hours, the full overnight window that restorative sleep requires. Today, I am going to show you exactly what happens when you drink Tart cherry juice every night for 7 days. But first, hold this question. If Tart cherry juice increases sleep time by 84 minutes per night, reduces morning inflammation, and restores the deep sleep your brain needs for memory consolidation and cellular repair, why has your doctor been writing melatonin prescriptions instead of telling you about the juice? I am Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and today I am going to give you the complete science of what 7 days of nightly Tart cherry juice does to your sleep architecture, your inflammation levels, your recovery, and your cellular health, starting from the very first glass. Now let me tell you exactly what happens inside your body when you drink Tart cherry juice every night for 7 days. 3 things change. And by the time I finish describing all 3, you will understand why this one nightly glass does more for your sleep, your recovery, and your systemic inflammation than everything you have been purchasing to address them separately. The first thing that happens is your melatonin levels rise and sustain through the entire overnight sleep window, not through a synthetic hormone spike, but through the most bioavailable natural melatonin delivery system ever studied in clinical research. Tart cherries, specifically Montmorency tart cherries, contain naturally occurring melatonin at concentrations of 13.5 nanograms per gram, making them one of the highest food sources of bioavailable melatonin identified in the scientific literature. But the melatonin in Tart cherry juice does not work alone. The juice simultaneously provides tryptophan, the amino acid precursor to serotonin and then melatonin, and the B6 vitamin that activates tryptophan hydroxylase, the rate-limiting enzyme converting tryptophan to serotonin. This means Tart cherry juice provides both the finished melatonin molecule and the raw materials to produce more melatonin through the body's own synthesis pathway, a dual delivery system that synthetic melatonin supplements cannot replicate. Synthetic melatonin provides the finished hormone only, and the liver clears it in 2 to 3 hours, producing the peak, then crash profile that leaves people waking at 3 a.m. when the supplement wears off. Tart cherry juice provides the preformed melatonin for immediate elevation and the tryptophan B6 pathway for sustained synthesis, maintaining melatonin levels through the full 6 to 7 hours that deep sleep consolidation requires. Research in the European Journal of Nutrition found Tart cherry juice for 7 days produced a 15% increase in urinary melatonin, a 34-minute increase in sleep time, and significant improvements in sleep efficiency in healthy older adults. A separate study in the American Journal of Therapeutics found Tart cherry juice increased total sleep time by 84 minutes per night in adults with chronic insomnia, a result no melatonin supplement has matched in a randomized controlled trial. The second thing that happens is your morning joint pain, muscle stiffness, and exercise recovery dramatically improve. because the same anthocyanins producing melatonin's anti-inflammatory synergy are among the most potent natural COX-1 and COX-2 inhibitors identified in any food. Tart cherries contain cyanidin-3-glucoside and cyanidin-3-rutinoside, the specific anthocyanin molecules that inhibit both COX pathways, with a potency that researchers have compared to ibuprofen at equivalent tissue concentrations. For seniors over 65 whose morning joint stiffness, arthritis pain, and post-activity muscle soreness are direct results of the overnight inflammatory processes that inadequate sleep allows to accumulate unchecked, Tart cherry juice addresses both sides of this cycle simultaneously. The melatonin improvement ensures more restorative sleep that reduces overnight inflammatory cytokine accumulation. The anthocyanins directly inhibit the COX-driven prostaglandin production that produces joint pain and muscle soreness regardless of sleep quality. Research in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found Tart cherry juice over 5 days reduced muscle damage markers, reduced IL-6 and CRP, and reduced soreness scores significantly more than placebo, with inflammation reduction equivalent to NSAIDs without the gastrointestinal, cardiovascular, and renal side effects that long-term NSAID use produces in seniors. For seniors taking ibuprofen or naproxen regularly, Tart cherry addresses the same pathway through food rather than a drug that damages the stomach lining with every dose. The third thing that happens is your sleep architecture begins restoring the deep, slow-wave sleep stages that are lost first with aging, and that are responsible for the physical and cognitive restoration that distinguishes genuinely restorative sleep from the light, fragmented sleep that most seniors over 65 experience as normal. Sleep architecture in healthy young adults cycles through light sleep, deep, slow-wave sleep, and REM, in approximately 90-minute cycles 4 to 5 times per night. Deep, slow-wave sleep, stages 3 and 4, is when growth hormone is secreted, muscle and tissue repair occurs, the glymphatic system flushes amyloid beta and tau proteins, and long-term memory consolidation happens. After 65, slow-wave sleep progressively decreases. Some research finding complete disappearance of stage 4 in adults over 70. The absence of slow-wave sleep means growth hormone is not secreted, producing accelerated muscle loss and fat accumulation. It means amyloid beta accumulates in brain tissue. Tart cherry's melatonin restores slow-wave sleep proportion through melatonin receptor MT1, specifically responsible for slow-wave sleep transitions. Its anthocyanins reduce the neuroinflammation that fragments deep sleep with microarousals. Research in nutrients found Tart cherry supplementation significantly increased slow-wave sleep proportion and reduced nighttime waking in older adults with insomnia, an outcome no pharmaceutical sleep medication produces without simultaneously suppressing REM and blunting memory consolidation. 3 changes, 7 days, 1 glass. Now let me show you exactly how to get all 3. If you are serious about taking care of your health after 65, this video is for you. And here is exactly what you are going to get from it. First, I have shown you the 3 things happening inside your body when you drink Tart cherry juice every night for 7 days. Know these before you begin, because understanding the biology is what keeps you consistent when results take the days they naturally take. Second, 3 exact methods, step-by-step, precise quantities, precise timing, a complete protocol starting today. Third, the science, the mechanism, the research. So you are not taking my word for it. You are following a protocol validated by clinical evidence. This is not a video you watch and forget. Write down the methods and begin today. Stay for every section. Each one builds on the one before it. Skip any part and you will miss the piece that makes everything else work. Here is the commitment I am making to you today. Follow the 3 methods I am going to give you with complete consistency for 7 days. Just 7 days. And here's what that week looks like. By day 1 and 2, melatonin levels begin rising within 30 minutes of the first glass. The Tart cherry melatonin and the initial tryptophan to serotonin conversion produce the sleep onset acceleration that most people notice from the very first night, as a reduced time to fall asleep and a deeper first sleep cycle. By day 3 and 4, the anthocyanin anti-inflammatory accumulation begins producing measurable reductions in morning joint stiffness. The prostaglandin and cytokine inhibition reduces overnight inflammatory burden so that waking joints are less painful and morning mobility improves. By day 5 and 6, slow-wave sleep proportion begins increasing. The deeper and more continuous sleep produces more vivid dreams, as REM sleep is also restored, and the daytime cognitive clarity and mood stability that adequate slow-wave sleep produces become noticeable. By day 7, all 3 mechanisms are operating simultaneously. Melatonin sustained through the overnight window, anthocyanins reducing morning inflammation, and sleep architecture cycling through complete slow-wave and REM stages for the first time in years. 7 days, starting tonight. One more thing before the methods. Right now, make one decision. You are going to buy 100% pure Montmorency Tart cherry juice today. Not sweet cherry juice, not cherry blend, not cherry-flavored drink. Montmorency is the specific variety. It contains significantly higher melatonin, anthocyanin, and tryptophan concentrations than sweet cherries or other varieties. The label should say Montmorency Tart cherry juice with no added sugar and no preservatives. Tart cherry concentrate is also acceptable. 1 tablespoon of concentrate diluted in water equals 1 cup of juice, providing the same therapeutic compounds at a more affordable price per serving. Available at health food stores, well-stocked grocery stores, and online. Pure Montmorency. No added sugar. 8 ounces per night. Tonight is your first glass. So let me show you exactly how to use Tart cherry juice every night for 7 days. Step by step, precise quantities, exact timing. The first method is 8 ounces of Tart cherry juice every night, exactly 30 minutes before getting into bed. This is the foundational daily method, and the 30-minute pre-sleep timing is critical. Here is exactly why. The melatonin in Tart cherry juice reaches peak blood levels approximately 30 to 45 minutes after consumption, meaning that drinking the juice 30 minutes before lying down places the melatonin peak precisely at the moment of sleep onset, producing the most effective sleep initiation signal at the moment it is most needed. The tryptophan to serotonin conversion simultaneously begins during this 30-minute window, so that as the preformed melatonin from the juice peaks, the tryptophan is converting to serotonin that will then convert to additional melatonin over the following 2 to 3 hours, maintaining the elevation. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every night, exactly 30 minutes before bed, pour 8 ounces of pure Montmorency Tart cherry juice at room temperature into a glass. Do not consume it ice cold. Cold liquids mildly stimulate the digestive system and can interfere with the relaxation response. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. The small glucose release from honey provides the mild insulin spike that clears competing large neutral amino acids from the bloodstream, allowing tryptophan to cross the blood-brain barrier without competition and convert to serotonin at maximum efficiency. The same honey-tryptophan mechanism discussed in the walnut and cashew videos. Drink slowly over 5 minutes. No screens for 30 minutes after drinking. 8 ounces Tart cherry juice. 1 teaspoon raw honey. Room temperature. 30 minutes before bed. Every single night. The second method is the tart cherry and magnesium deep sleep preparation, taken 3 to 4 nights per week alongside the nightly juice. This method combines tart cherry juice's melatonin with magnesium glycinate's GABA receptor modulation, creating the most complete, natural, slow-wave sleep initiation preparation available in whole food and supplement form. Magnesium activates the GABA-A receptors in the brain that produce the inhibitory neurological quieting that slow-wave sleep initiation requires. The same receptors targeted by benzodiazepine medications, but through a gentler, non-addictive mechanism that supports rather than forces sleep architecture. Here is exactly how to prepare it. 3 to 4 nights per week, alongside your nightly 8 ounces of tart cherry juice, take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 30 minutes before bed. Add 5 to 6 soaked walnuts eaten alongside the juice. Walnuts contain their own melatonin as documented in the walnut video, and their tryptophan further amplifies the tart cherry tryptophan to serotonin conversion through substrate availability. The fat in walnuts enhances the absorption of tart cherry's fat-soluble polyphenols and slows the gastric emptying that extends the tryptophan absorption window from 30 minutes to 2 to 3 hours, producing a sustained melatonin synthesis from the gut through the entire night. Magnesium glycinate, 300 to 400 milligrams. 5 soaked walnuts, alongside the nightly juice, 3 to 4 nights per week. The third method is the morning recovery and inflammation protocol, using tart cherry juice concentrate as a morning anti-inflammatory preparation on the days following physical activity, exercise, or days with significant joint pain. This method times the anthocyanin COX inhibition to the morning inflammatory peak, when overnight prostaglandin and cytokine accumulation in joints and muscles is at its highest concentration, and when anti-inflammatory intervention produces the greatest symptom relief. Here is exactly how to prepare it. On mornings after physical activity, or on high pain mornings, mix 1 tablespoon of tart cherry concentrate in 200 milliliters of warm water. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. As established in the previous video, cinnamon's procyanidins provide synergistic COX inhibition alongside the anthocyanins. Add a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. Curcumin provides a third independent anti-inflammatory mechanism through NF-kappa B inhibition. And piperine increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. Drink on an empty stomach 30 minutes before breakfast. The empty stomach maximizes anthocyanin absorption by eliminating competition from food matrix proteins and fiber. 1 tablespoon tart cherry concentrate, warm water, Ceylon cinnamon, turmeric and black pepper. Empty stomach. 30 minutes before breakfast. On activity days and high pain mornings. Now, beyond sleep restoration and inflammation reduction, because nightly tart cherry juice does 2 other deeply significant things for seniors that are worth knowing from day one. The first additional benefit is blood pressure reduction and cardiovascular protection through tart cherry's anthocyanin-driven endothelial nitric oxide restoration and potassium content. The same anthocyanins inhibiting COX enzymes also activate endothelial nitric oxide synthase, reducing arterial stiffness and blood pressure. Tart cherry provides approximately 270 milligrams of potassium per 8-ounce serving, contributing to sodium-potassium rebalancing. Research in the Journal of Functional Foods found tart cherry juice over 12 weeks produced significant reductions in systolic blood pressure, reduced arterial stiffness by pulse wave velocity, and improved endothelial function markers. The second additional benefit is memory consolidation and cognitive protection through the glymphatic brain clearance that restored slow-wave sleep enables. The glymphatic system operates almost exclusively during slow-wave sleep, using cerebrospinal fluid pulsations to flush amyloid beta, tau protein, and metabolic waste from spaces between neurons. When slow-wave sleep is absent, glymphatic clearance is severely impaired, and waste accumulates, contributing to the Alzheimer's pathology that aging brains develop. Research published in Science found the glymphatic system clears nearly twice as much metabolic waste during slow-wave sleep as during wakefulness, confirming that every night of restored deep sleep is a night of active brain protection. And here's the one surprising fact about Tart cherry juice that is going to completely change how you understand why taking a melatonin supplement at 10 p.m. and waking at 3 a.m. is not a sleep problem. It is a melatonin delivery problem. Synthetic melatonin has a half-life of 45 minutes in the bloodstream, peaking at 45 minutes, halved by 90, near baseline by 3 hours. This is why most melatonin users sleep well for the first 3 hours, then wake and cannot return to sleep. The standard response? Higher doses of 5 or 10 milligrams produces an unphysiological spike that suppresses the body's own melatonin synthesis through feedback inhibition, making natural sleep progressively harder. Tart cherry juice produces the opposite profile. Preformed melatonin provides initial elevation, while the tryptophan B6 pathway produces endogenous synthesis over the following 6 hours, matching the overnight melatonin profile of a healthy 30-year-old. The European Journal of Nutrition study confirmed sustained urinary melatonin elevation throughout the overnight collection period, not a brief peak and crash. 8 ounces of juice produces a sleep architecture that 10 milligrams of synthetic melatonin cannot replicate. The dose is not the problem. The delivery system is. Now let me explain exactly why your body needs Tart cherry juice specifically after 65, and what stops working in your cells that it directly restores. After 65, cellular energy is directly impaired by the sleep deprivation cycle most seniors accept as inevitable aging, but which has a specific mitochondrial mechanism Tart cherry juice addresses from 2 directions. During deep, slow-wave sleep, brain metabolic rate decreases by approximately 40%, allowing mitochondria in neurons to shift from ATP consumption to ATP replenishment, restoring membrane potential and electron transport chain cofactor concentrations that daytime activity depletes. When slow-wave sleep is absent, this overnight mitochondrial recharge does not occur. Neurons begin each successive day with progressively more depleted energy reserves. The cognitive decline, daytime fatigue, and inability to concentrate that seniors attribute to aging are in significant part the cumulative mitochondrial energy deficit of hundreds of nights without slow-wave sleep. This is not aging. It is an uncharged battery that was never given its overnight charging cycle. Tart cherry juice addresses this at the mitochondrial level through 2 mechanisms. By restoring slow-wave sleep, it restores the overnight neuronal mitochondrial recharge, allowing electron transport chain cofactor concentrations to replenish and ATP production capacity to recover. And Tart cherry anthocyanins directly protect mitochondrial membranes, reducing the lipid peroxidation of mitochondrial inner membranes that chronic sleep disruption and inflammation produce. Research in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found Tart cherry anthocyanins protected mitochondrial membrane integrity, reduced reactive oxygen species, and improved mitochondrial bioenergetic efficiency in aged neuronal cells, confirming cellular energy restoration through both the sleep architecture and direct mitochondrial antioxidant pathways simultaneously. Remember the question from the beginning? If Tart cherry juice increases sleep by 84 minutes, reduces morning inflammation, and restores the deep sleep your brain needs for memory and cellular repair, why has your doctor been prescribing melatonin instead of telling you about the juice? Because melatonin prescriptions generate revenue. Because Tart cherry juice cannot be patented. Because no one funds the trial proving a glass of juice outperforms a medication. The research exists. The mechanism is validated. The solution costs $1, less than any sleep medication, less than any melatonin supplement, without a single documented serious adverse effect in any published trial. 8 ounces, pure Montmorency, 30 minutes before bed. 1 teaspoon honey, starting tonight. Here's what you learned today. When you drink Tart cherry juice every night for 7 days, 3 things happen. Melatonin rises and sustains through the full overnight window as preformed melatonin and tryptophan B6 synthesis operate simultaneously, producing the 84-minute sleep increase no synthetic supplement matches. Morning joint pain reduces as cyanidin anthocyanins inhibit COX-1 and COX-2 at ibuprofen comparable potency without gastrointestinal damage. And sleep architecture restores the slow wave stages for growth hormone secretion, glymphatic clearance, and memory consolidation that pharmaceutical sleep medications suppress. 3 methods. 8 ounces Montmorency juice with honey 30 minutes before bed every night. Tart cherry with magnesium glycinate and soaked walnuts 3 to 4 nights per week. And morning tart cherry concentrate with cinnamon and turmeric on high pain and activity days. Pure Montmorency always. No added sugar, room temperature, every single night. If this video gave you a real, practical, $1 solution for the sleep, the morning pain, and the cognitive clarity you have been managing expensively, please hit that like button right now and subscribe. Every week, honest science, practical protocols, affordable solutions for people who are serious about their health after 65. Tell me in the comments, how many hours are you actually sleeping right now? And do you wake in the middle of the night? Drop your honest answer below, because your answer helps another senior understand that the 84 minutes of sleep they have been missing every night is not a prescription problem. It is a Montmorency tart cherry juice problem. 8 ounces. Honey. Room temperature. 30 minutes before bed. Starting tonight. I will see you in the next one.